Hello there guys, and welcome back to week 4 of the weekly recap. I am your host, TheFlyingBird, and as always, welcome to Alcoholics Anonymous. This week we have some of the best alcoholics known to man. If people don't know, Europeans are some of the best drinkers in the world. We first off have the better Bartel brother, who actually knows that Bohem is dog shit in league format. Phalop.
Hello guys, and welcome to the anonymous alcoholist. We drink here in Holland already from our tent, I think. That's when we start. So, yeah.
And joining me, secondly, is the person who can recognize who would always win the Euros every single time without even needing to score a single goal. It's Hera Cross 9.
Hello, I've been sober for over a month, so hope I can keep that going. And yeah, my name is Hera Cross Knight. So I'm excited to be here. Made a pause from drinking for a bit, so let's do this.
Yes. So, unfortunately, someone had to leave Alcoholics Anonymous. They were sober for a very, very long time. It's sad to see another member of the NPL leave. It's sort of like the hokey pokey. We don't know who's in and who's out, and someone's always turning around. We lost Dallas this week. Dallas, for those who don't know, is a bit of a veteran in the NPL, and he's a bit of a culture figure because he's the kind guy that makes logos for $8 for everyone, that everyone questions why they're $8. No, not really. He makes some very quality free graphics for us all. He is most notably known for using the ban hammer, something that's a very important role, because sometimes when burb tails get out of hand, we need to get rid of burb. It's a shame we say goodbye to an old friend, but just like Alcoholics Anonymous, someone is always willing to join the void. I've never seen someone try to stop drinking intentionally, and we're glad to have the current WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Matty Brolick, coming back coaching his St. Louis Reshi Rams. And, it's great. Someone is going to be shirtless besides Bird for a change. Thank goodness.
The more the merrier, man. I love seeing people shirtless. I mean, what?
In particular males. Oh wait, what?
Okay, this is not the time.
This is Alcoholics Anonymous, not our fanfiction fan club.
That's
so
on Fridays.
Yeah, that's Fridays, dang it. Fridays. Zazo shirtless. Right. So we had some very, very high caliber matches this week. Not because the coaches have paid me as always to talk about how well they played, but we're going to start off with Phalop. He's going to talk about Zazo for a change. I think you guys are sick of hearing me talk about Zazo because I think it's the only thing I'm allowed to talk about in the NPL. But why don't you take it away? Zazo v Jolt, the big dog versus the little dog.
Who's the big dog?
Yeah, so I think that's up to our viewers. Some people might say Anthony, some people might say Jolt. It's, I think, just what you compare. If you compare dicks, let's just say we don't talk about that too much.
We don't talk.
But just this match, it was, I think, one of the most hyped matches we had this week. And as you can see here from the score, it was a 4-0 in Anthony's favor. You might think, okay, this was a really big win. It definitely was still a big win, but it was also a lot closer than expected. You see here the teams that are brought. Joel brought the Mega Lopunny, Nidoking, Electros, Latias, Metagross and Ferrothorn, while Anthony brought his Current Black, Volcanion, Mew, Snorlax, Gardevoir and his Mega Heracross. And as you can see, Mega Heracross was really the star of the show. Got 3 kills, I believe. Wasn't it 4, but that's just me. And then the Volcanion, Snorlax picked up 1 kill, and for Jolt it was the Lopunny and the Metagross that picked up 1 kill. So all in all, I think what will stick most to me in this match was that Mega Heracross is the best Ladi counter in the game. I never knew it, but now I know. And I think that was also the crucial turn this match was just the Ladi versus the Mega Heracross. Anthony stayed in while Jolt made a kind of an over prediction, going for Calm Mind, expecting the Heracross to switch out, and Anthony just popped it with a pin missile, which was, some people might say it's misplaced, some people think it's a great prediction. I think it's up to you guys what you think. Furthermore, this was just a clean match, and just at the end, it was pretty much the Mega Heracross show. Joel didn't have any mon that could one-shot it anymore and was at full health, and it could just tear through the team, also because most of the things were outsped by it, which was kind of nice for it. So yeah, basically that was the whole match, and yeah. Don't know if you guys have any more to say.
I mean, Mega Heracross was the star of the show, so how can I not say anything? This was just so cool, man. I just hope that now people start and realize how powerful Mega Heracross can be. So yeah, I'm not even gonna say anything else because we're not allowed to. But Mega Heracross is the boss. I'm not sure if it got 4 kills. It might have gotten 4 kills. I did the graphics. I probably took kills from my own mascot. What kind of person am I?
I think Zazo's learned a lot in his time as a player. I think he's learnt from some of the best players going around. In particular, Chimpact. You know, Mega Heracross is part fighting. Latias is a psychic type. Fighting resists psychic, obviously. Oh my lord, what a play. I think also the disrespect, like only bringing 2 moves on that Mega Heracross being Bullet Seed and Pinnacle. Like that's no respect to your opponent. Like, oh. How does he do it? There's no respect for anyone, but I think one of the other really cool sets we saw this week was Lumberry Mew. Just for that T-Spikes, to get those that defog proved very crucial, because Mega Heracross doesn't get guts, but he did get very lucky with his Pin Missile and Bullet Seed. Like, he always got 5 hits, which I thought was very lucky on his end.
Hacks.
Jolt was just having PSTD when he got 5 hits with the Bullet Seed.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Because he only got good 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the only reason the Zazo won, so that's all said about that game.
Lucky players, my man.
Lucky and bad.
Next up, exactly. Next up, we sent our friendly Hera down to the Carney Carnivals. As always, you know, the grass type extraordinaire versus Chicago BEWEARS of the crits.
Yo, I loved watching this match from both sides. Like, I highly encourage you guys to go watch like both coaches' perspectives because it was so cool to watch, man. I don't want to say it was a meme match, but it was definitely a very, very entertaining match because these two are obviously great friends. So it was very, very nice to see that. But Razor did end up picking up the 3-0 win. Carney brought Tapu Bulu, Victini, Diggersby, Milotic, Credilli, and Hydreigon. Of course, he has to bring Credilli. Like, why wouldn't he bring Credilli? It's his mascot. It should be. And Razor brought Delmise, Crobat, Tapu Koko, Mienshao, Alakazam, and Garchomp. Shoutouts to Razor for being the actual only person who prepares for Plusle. So yeah, shoutouts to Razor for that. I don't know why, but he was scared from Plusle, but it was a fairly quick and balanced match, like opposing to some matches that we had, because we had some pretty long matches. But it was like very, very balanced up until Carney got crit, because Carney apparently this season is like a hacks magnet, except every piece of hacks goes against him. So he kind of overpredicted on the Delmise, went for the Glaciate with Victini. Delmise went for Earthquake, critted him, and from that moment on, like Razor controlled the game. He had the momentum of the game. Pretty much not much that Carney could do after that, just trying to reduce the differential, I guess. But yeah, I guess that's that match. It was a pretty hacksy for Carney, which is sad to see, obviously, because you never like to see no one lose to hacks. And Carney's been like really, really unlucky this season. He hasn't played well, but at the same time, he's been hacked, so that's never nice to see. But as I said, great commentary on both sides. Hope you, highly advise you guys to go check it out because it's very, very entertaining. And that's pretty much all I have to say on that match. I don't know if you guys want to add on anything.
Well, I mean, Razor's is continuing to add to Carney's drinking problem. Like, he's back in the hidden the bottle. That crit on the Victini was a real shame. Now, you did mention, why did Razor prep for Plusle? I played Razor 3 times in mock battles, and my MVP was Plusle. I won 2 of them. Plusle just hit everything with a Volt Switch or a Discharge. I brought Scarf, and it was just fun to use. Look, if it was a Minun, though, it wouldn't be able to do anything, but it was a Plusle, and that's important. I'm surprised Carney didn't bring Plusle. It was actually the only week where it had a decent matchup. Like, if Razor, like, because Ice... Hidden Power Ice, I was going to say Ice Beam. That'd be funny if Plusle got Ice Beam.
True.
I'm sorry. Yeah. But, like, 2-shot the Garchomp. T-Bolt in electric terrain, pretty much two-shotted everything of Razor's hyper offense. So that's why I was surprised there was no Plusle. I thought it was actually a really good bring Carney's end, but he knows better than me.
True. And that's why he's a coach and you're not.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think he wants to keep it in the back for the playoffs, but yeah, that's just me.
He's just saving it in the back.
Yeah. And now next up, this is quite a sad thing because it's a great match and it's a sad farewell to Dallas, being the Jersey Dwebbles v Dallas and his San Antonio Swamperts. I think it's maybe the last time we see the Swamperts as well, which makes it quite a sad thing. Both logos cost $8 for each coach, and they were made by Dallas. I know, but yeah, we needed that money. So I think Toxapex for Cloud was really the MVP. That's definitely going to help his drinking problem, just knowing that Toxapex can sit there and outstall everything. Flygon was definitely a cool bring with the substitute set. Arcanine was the special set. Didn't really get to be showcased that much. Tauros did nothing, but it was cool to see Tauros bring as a Scarf Mon to try to weaken everything. Celebi was a nasty plot passer. Mega B, no U-turn, I thought was really costly. Dallas brought Xatu with Cobra Berry, Megazard X with DD, Thunder Punch, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Orlando T, Magearna, Lillywetta, and Blastoise. This game started off really fast, like there's a lot of kills and things like that, but we get back to the old, there we were, 3 against 1,000, my gosh, those 3 could fight, old scenario. And Toxapex, was there at the end. It was probably it was the MVP for Cloud, stalling out, I think it was a Megazard X, Blastoise.
And Meloetta, I think?
Yeah, Meloetta, because he brought Psyshock instead of Psychic. And that was crazy. One of the few times where you would have thought Psychic would have been more useful because the Toxapex really needed to be physically defensive in the matchup because the Megazard X, Lando T. Rock Polish Magearna I thought was brought, and it was brought early on and it looked like it was going to have some potential, but didn't really get a shine. Xatu was Colbert Berry, but Cloud still set up his T-Spikes. Or no, he didn't set up T-Spikes, no, because Toxapex was Toxic, which I thought was actually a really, really good bring on Cloud's part. So the reason why I say that was because pretty much when Xatu went down, he could just start Toxicing and spamming everything but Magearna. And the other thing too is if he brought T-Spikes, it was going to be a massive hindrance to his own team. Yes, he could switch into Beedrill, but because Beedrill didn't have any momentum on the set, it wasn't really going to benefit him that well. But this was a great game to see. Unfortunate for Dallas. It would have been really cool for him to go off on a winning note, but I think Dallas played really well. 2 very close 1-0 losses. It's a shame to see him go, as we said earlier on the podcast, but what are your guys' thoughts on this match?
I just want to say that I think Dallas prepped really, really well because he brought Yachi Berry on Landorus, Colbert Berry on Xatu. The Xatu bring was very, very smart in my opinion because all like Toxapex and Fortress actually do is like spikes, stealth rocks, toxic spikes. So I definitely think that the Xatu was a great bring. It was a shame that the game ended in the way it did because Dallas arguably should have won. If it wasn't like if he brought Psychic on Meloetta, then he probably should have won, and he deserved it. But as you said, it's a shame to see him leave. Just a word of appreciation to him. Thank you for everything you did for the NPL, and yeah, see you around, mate.
Yeah, I must say this was really a back and forth game because at the beginning Celebi had set up a nasty plot, was looking like that it could break Dallas' team a bit, but it might have got a bit of a low roll on the Zard X, got taken out. Then sometime later Marjana is looking really great because due to the Z move Thunderbolt, I think, it took out the Arcanine, but Mega Beedrill had some HP investment, could barely take 1 hit and just finish off the Magearna, and then it came down to the Toxapex Stallfest. And a bit to keep in the alcoholistic thoughts, Toxapex really reminds me of the liver. If you look at your liver, it also takes all the alcohol and it just keeps you healthy, you know? It gets rid of everything. It takes it, and that's what Toxapex did. It only took hits, and slowly the others died.
I've actually
I like it.
I've actually never looked at my liver, but that's an interesting comparison right there.
I think mine looks like a Toxapex as well. So, Phalop, you have the honor of, as Shardy slides me a $5 across the table, talk about how good that stupid turtle was.
Yeah.
It was the Bayern Munich versus Florida for Alligators. The turtle!
Yeah, it was the dawn of the turtles. So yeah, it was a really close game. It ended up in being a 1-0 for the Bayern Munich. As you can see, the Bayern Munich brought the Manaphy, the Mega Medicham, the Tangrowth, the Tornado Starion, the Mamoswine, and there it is, the Turtonator. Everyone thought it would sit out the whole season, but no, it did come and it did do its job. And then Seb brought a team of Slowbro, Raikou, Amoonguss, Volcarona, Mega Scizor, and Azelf. Yeah, first of all, I did a mock battle also with Seb, and I think I have in my league history never seen a more awful match to prep for as Seb had. Like, Shadi had like all the offensive threats of Shadi just really destroyed Seb's whole team, and it was really scary for him. So props to him to bring it down to a 1-0, and then yeah, he just overlooked the turtle there sitting there in the back, and then yeah, the turtle came in and took the whole end game, and yeah, it just cleaned up, got 2 kills. I think that's more as some other threats have gotten in the whole history. So yeah, if you guys want anything...
I mean, I think we can only say that PokeAim was right. There was going to be a fire type on his team that no one thought would do anything, but it actually did something, being Turtonator. I think this game really just showed how competitive the NPL can be. Like, it looked pretty dead and buried for Shardy, but the stupid turtle, aka Franklin Danklin, I don't know, whatever you want to call him, God, as some people want to praise him, came and got this Volcarona. Now, if the Volcarona had HP ground, Seb won, but it was sub, roost, quiver dance, fire move or bug move. I can't remember.
I think it was Fire Blast. I think.
Yeah. I think it was Fire Move and Giga Drain. Well,
oh yeah, he didn't have roost, but if we brought HP ground, it could have been a different game. I think also when you look at team matchup, besides the Slowbro,
Mamoswine.
nothing else.
Banded Mamoswine.
Yeah, true. But Slowbro matches up against the Turtonator well. I don't know how Banded Mamoswine would match up against the Turtonator well when they're on the same team. So like doubles, they're playing like doubles format. Now that's an interesting thing. But you know, Slowbro matched up well against the Turtonator. But as Phalop said, the funny thing is, even though the matchup was bad, it was such a close game, and that should show to people how competitive the NPL is.
Yeah, I mean, Seb already had to prep for so many stuff because, as you said, the matchup was horrible. So it's understandable that he kind of overlooked the Tortonator. So good bring on Shoddy because that completely countered the Volcarona, which was arguably the biggest threat. So yeah, that's the game. What I was trying to say is Banded Mamoswine smacks everything in the face, but you want to let me talk. Anyways.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I love you anyways.
I think the other funny thing is look at how Razor prepped for +1 won. Seb didn't prep for the turtle and lost.
Always prep for the little guy.
Yeah.
So Hera, you had the Clash of the Titans this week. We sent you in the heart of the storm to see the Sharpedo v Regigigas, or the Regigiants. But you know, for Gypsy, it was a bit of PSD seeing another Regigigas on the field because you know after last season, some little hobo tried to confusion hack Gypsy to death, which would have been funny if it worked. Because it would have been so funny just to be like, he lost one game, how did he lose? Confusion.
Yeah, that would have been funny. I mean, it's not cool to see people lose to hacks, but sometimes it makes you giggle, so it's all in good fun. But yeah, the Sydney Sharpedos did beat the San Francisco Regigiants 2-0. Gypsy beat Merc, and Gypsy brought Mega Gardevoir, Shaman, a Heracross, so Heracross is taking the NPL by storm, and I love it. Zapdos, Infernape, and Uxie, and Merc brought Togekiss, Jirachi, Swellow, Crocodile, Doublade, and Mega Latios. So you know Gypsy brought Mega Gardevoir, and you already know when Gypsy brings Mega Gardevoir, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a bulky set. So that's the Mega Gardevoir he brought. I think you can call it a Gypsy special at this point. Merc had some pretty interesting sets on his side. He had a baton pass Togekiss with weakness policy, which was pretty cool to see. Unfortunately, it didn't do anything, but it would have been nice to see. He brought the Shed Shell on Jirachi because Doug Trio is a big threat to his team. Specs Swellow smacks everything in the face because this thing is just so good. Those were like the main sets that were cool to see. And yeah, the beginning of the game was like they were both switching out a lot, trying to scout for each other, like trying to figure out what sets they can play the mid to end game like a little bit better and prepare themselves to do what they needed to do to win. But it really felt that Gypsy had the control of the entire match. He really controlled everything. He seemed like he was always one step ahead of Merc. I mean, if Merc, when he set up a nasty plot with Togekiss, if he baton passed into Swellow, then things could have been different, but he baton passed into Crocodile, and I was expecting special Crocodile, but no, my dreams didn't come true. But yeah, that's pretty much the game. Gypsy in the late game played it a little bit safe because he could lose if he got like very unlucky and got hacks from Doublade. Like if Doublade crit everything on his team, then he could have lost. So it's interesting to see Gypsy prioritize the win over the differential, because sometimes you see players like trying to really ensure to get like a big win and then up choking the match away. So it's cool to see that Gypsy prioritize the win over the differential, and he won. So he's like what, 4-1 now, 3-1. Yeah, because he lost
3-1.
Yeah, because he lost week 1 to Toge. So yeah, that's that match. If you guys want to add anything, feel free to.
I think the only sort of misplay this match was not baton passing into Swellow. Merc did identify that as a bit of a misplay. That Swellow could have definitely punched a hole throughout Gypsy's whole team. Definitely, we see the pressure of having threats in the back of each team. So sometimes what I'm talking about is that there were certain mods that weren't brought this week that could have really benefited either side. For example, let's say Gypsy did bring Dougie, and his plan was to trap Jirachi with Dougie, right? Let's say he brought like Banded Dougie, right? And he switches out from Jirachi into Togekiss / Swellow or Mega Latios, right? It could have completely turned the match. But Gypsy, knowing that Merc had to overpredict for that move slot, that brings, you know, I think Heracross over Dougie is the most logical thing, but they can then just start punishing Merc for it.
Yeah, because Merc like really prepped for it, because he brought Togekiss, Jirachi with Shed Shell, Swellow, Mega Latios. So yeah, he definitely over-prepared for the Doug trio.
Phalop, what were your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, a bit the same. It was also the main reason that Merc didn't brought Terrakion, and Terrakion was like a really big threat for Gypsy. He had almost no switch-ins. So that was really good to see. It was just Gypsy knew, okay, I have that Scarf Heracross in the back. That is my win con, I have to play to watch it, and yeah, he did it phenomenally. And for Merc, when I saw the nasty pass, I was thinking, okay, if he nasty pass in like Scarf Swallow instead of Specs, then maybe he outspeeds everything, and like Gypsy had no normal resist on his team, but it ended up being Specs, and unfortunately he didn't end up passing it towards it. But it was definitely, I think, an interesting bring for Merc, especially because he combined it with a weakness policy. So I think it was definitely interesting prep, which if it could have worked out, would have been really great. But yeah, for now, yeah, that's I think most of the things you already covered. So
next up we have the least Aussie, being Abe, versus Trev, aka poor start of the season, but Trev really can't catch a break at the moment. It's really sad to see. This game, Hazard Stack just really was pivotal for Abe. Nidoqueen and Leovani both cutting up their Stealth Rocks and T-Spikes and Sticky Web. I'm guessing Kartana didn't hit the field, if I remember correctly. But Whimsicott, was lucky to plant 1-0. The freeze on Mimikyu was very lucky in Abe's favour, because that ensured it was going to be a 4-0. Trev really couldn't catch a break this game, which is really sad to see, but, Alola Marowak did, Mega Diancie did, Celesteela picked up 1, Dragalge picked up 1, Mimikyu did, and Renoculus did. But it's definitely an interesting game to see. The Sub-Kura did definitely put in a lot of work after all the hazard stacking, But Trev, please do us a favor and stop bringing AV. I think you brought AV Renewalist again this week. If I remember correctly.
I think it was.
That's the third time he's brought it in 4 weeks. You need you need to start thinking outside of Renewalist, because let's say he brought Magic Guard this week, right? Doesn't take any hazards damage. It can kill the Nidoqueen. Let's say you brought Offensive Trick Room right this week, because Abe's gonna bring Sticky Web, or could bring Sticky Web. You bring, like, for example, Trick Room, Focus Blast, HP Fire, and Psychic. That pretty much hits everything hard but Sableye. And Abe only brought Sableye in case Kamala was brought. So you could have hit 5 of his mons super effectively. Sableye loses to Mimikyu. It could have been a very, very different game.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys' thoughts on?
I mean, as you said, like, early game, Abe was managed to hazard stack Trev. So at that, like, right there, he was already, like, behind. And then, like, Trev didn't play that well, but he still had a chance to win. If he was able to crit the Whimsicott with the Mega Diancie, then he probably would have won from there. Because Mega Diancie had Clear Body, so when he came in for the first time, he wasn't affected by the Sticky Web, so no speed drop. And from there, he could have cleaned the game. He didn't crit, so at that point, it was just, like, him trying to reduce the differential. Really cool set that Abe brought, though. Sub Roost Kyurem really put a huge dent in his team. Of course, as you said, got the crit on Mimikyu, which was unfortunate.
The freeze.
Yeah, the freeze, I mean. Which was unfortunate because it could have been like a 2-0 or something like that. Would have been definitely a lot closer. And as you said, Trev really can't crit to break at this point. It's like, the thing that's most frustrating is that he has the quality and skill to beat everybody he's gone up against. But I don't know, I don't know what's lacking in it. It's like, because he preps well, but I don't know. It's weird and it's hard to see because I'm a fan of Trev. So it's hard to see him, like, with not so good record this season. I don't know if Phalop is here. I think he's having connection problems. So yeah, so Bird, we might as well just move on because I think issues and stuff.
That's right, we've got enough issues this week at Alcoholics Anonymous. Really just going to grab another bottle of Jack or something like that.
Yeah. Can't blame him.
So, yeah, I know. Got to record the disappointment for all. Alright, Harry, you've got the Carvanas versus Rizzy. Bam. Sunflora is still the most asked one I've ever seen, and so is Mega Kangaskhan in League format. I think I'd rather have Sunflora on my team than Mega Kang.
I mean, Sunkern is better than Sunflora, though. So, I don't know what you have to say about that, but I'll take Sunkern over Sunflora. But the next match that we are going to be covering is Toge against Riz. Probably the most, I don't want to say unbalanced match, but it was definitely like the least closest. Mainly because Riz he made some mistakes in his prep, I feel like, because he brought some iffy sets, like the return on the Tornadus. Like, I can see why, but I don't know how I feel about it. But Toge brought Lucario, Weavile, Seismitoad, Thundurus, Therian, Tentacruel, and Staraptor. Riz brought Scolipede, Necrozma, Mega Kangaskhan, Tornadus Eye, Donphan, and Bisharp. 3-0 win for the Carvanas. And if, like, team matchup, like, you can see that Toge has so much offense that it's going to be really, really hard for Riz to deal with it, because Lucario, which was banded if I remember correctly, nukes his entire team. Weavile is such a big threat. Toge has been using Thundurus very, very well. He brought Nasty Plot again. Staraptor is a mon that really doesn't have that much switch-ins because Reckless with Double Edger Brave Bird nukes a lot of stuff. So yeah, like right from team preview, you could see that Toge possibly had the matchup. It was this like Riz brought Scarf Bisharp with like Sucker Punch, and that like sort of like little mistakes is what probably cost him the match. I mean, not cost him the match because Toge pretty much like dominated the entire match and deserved the win, but the offensive pressure for Riz, it was just too much for him to handle. He couldn't really gain momentum because in this game it would be like punch for punch. So whoever was able to control the momentum would pretty much be able to win the game. So Riz wasn't able to do so. Toge brought a very, very offensive team, nuked Riz from the beginning, and like showed his dominance. So he ended up winning 3-0. So Toge is on to tear right now. So that's cool to see. Like, Rizzy Pal has a broken team, but he's bad at this game, so no wins for him.
I wouldn't. I just think when you have first overall draft pick, you really should try to pick something useful.
Yeah, like Mega
Not
Kank.
Mega Kank.
Nothing bad. I don't know.
But I think considering this was the 1 week Seismic Toss had no switch-ins, Toad played very, very well. The Seismic Toad got, being able to rest up and then pretty much cripple the Mega Kangaskhan. I think I remember correctly, I'm trying to think what killed something else. It was something called Tornadus Eye. Just the bulk up set Sleep Talk was cool, but it did nothing. Mm-hmm. As in the words of Conor McGregor, you got nothing, laddie. But it was disappointing. But it was definitely close. Mega King could have swept through Chris's team, but Chris is lucky and bad, as we say in the NPL. So you can't blame him. Was there any random berries this week? I don't think there was, which was quite disappointing.
Yeah, I don't think there was any berry. Actually, I don't. Which was
Toad,
you're slacking.
Toad, Shakespeare.
You're slacking.
Toad,
man.
Shakespeare's shedding a tear as we speak, because you didn't bring a berry. You have disappoint. Yeah, he's disappointed. His senpai. That's different. That's really bad.
Made us sad.
Yeah. So next up we had the Baltimore Braviaries, aka we don't know how to spell Braviaries, against Danza and his LA Nido Kings. I don't know how I really feel about this match, because I really am going to try to make this without the emotion that I really want to put in there, because there was a bit of controversy throughout the whole match. But I think it's best we overlook that. But Blake's did sacking your Persian to Vaporeon, like you could have just sacked something else, brought it in, switcheroo, and won. He just played the endgame very poorly. The Sarina high jump kick miss really mattered. I think Danza missed another move. What did he miss? He missed something early on, like a Stone Edge, I think, or a Sacred Fire. And that sort of came to her Danza. I think the other good bring on this week was Hippowdon being Sandforce to counter the Gigalith, which I thought was a really, really cool bring.
Yeah, because it did like a little ton of damage. A ton of damage.
An absolute butt ton. But, the Cryogonal was an interesting bring, but did its job very, very effectively. And as everyone should be aware, if you're trying to get into Mons, it's not always about how heat the set is, but how much it works. So, like, for example, Cryogonal died and didn't get any kills, but really set up the match for him, pressuring a lot of offensive Mons of Blake's. Was it Tectonic Range Entei that came for the Heat Train?
Yes, I think so.
I think that was a cool bring.
Mm-hmm. I think like Danza brought a very, very weird team. Nothing that I was expecting. Because if you look at Blake's team, Superior does pretty great damage, because all he really needs is like Leaf Storm and then Hidden Power Ground for the Heat Train. Danza didn't bring Superior. He also didn't bring Tapu Lele with Mega Alakazam, which is like something you'd expect to see almost every match, because that core looks kind of broken. But yeah, this was a very, very long and stalling match. It wasn't as bad as Joel versus Merc, but it was still pretty dang long. And as you said, like it looked like Blake had the game secured, but he did end up like choking the game away when he sacked the Alolan Persian to the Vaporeon. He could have sacked something else or like played more cautiously and switch. And once the Vaporeon was switcherooed, then there was really nothing Danza could do. So Blake had the game, he choked away. It happens to everybody, but still unfortunate to have to be that close to a win and choke. So that's unfortunate. I think Phalop is back with us.
Yeah, I should be. So yeah, it's just some technical difficulties, but I think you covered this match pretty well, and I think also yeah, it was just really unfortunate for Blake that he couldn't pick up the win here, and for Danza it was nice that after I think halfway through he thought that he already lost the match, that he just could just yeah, get that 1-0 in his favor. While yeah, he never expected it.
Because I'm like sure he said like GG before the long before the game was done, and he ended up picking the win. So it was a surprise.
Yeah, okay, so now we're going to go into the most in-depth sets of the week that we possibly can, because these coaches are getting a bit sticky with their, family secrets. It's like KFC. No one's going to know their secret recipe. We know their herbs and spices, but what do they use? Is it a chicken? Is it an egg? Is it a quail? We'll never know. So I'm going to start off with the Sydney man bringing the Mega Gardevoir. We only know his moveset. And I don't think it's really going to be fair for us to stipulate what their EV spreads are or things like that. But because I think as we want to do our job as analysts and be like, all right, we think for example, let's give a random one that did work. Like I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. It'd be like unfair of us to be like Danz's Vaporeon had 100 in defense, 100 in Spadaf, 50 in special attacks as this cap. And also the other thing too is Phalop did mock Zazo, and he does know what Zazo's whole team is. But so like it'd be unfair for Zazo if Phalop then revealed what his set was. Mm-hmm. So I hope you guys can understand that. We're still doing our job by giving you sets of the week. It's just the depth we're going into. But
blame the coaches.
Blame the coaches. Those
Yeah.
stingy bloody. Well, actually, just blame the lizards because there's 2 lizards that are on sets of the week,
True.
and they both won't tell us their EV spreads.
What some lads.
Alright, so I'm going to take the store blocker Mega Gardevoir being Wish, Protect, Hyper Voice, and Encore. This mon came in really crucial at the end game. Just being able to Encore and definitely be able to, stop things like Togekiss from wanting to baton pass. The Wish Protect is always Gypsy's favorite Gardevoir set, allowing it to just, longevity and being able to hit things really hard. I'm actually just going to look at the screen again and just remember what it did. But if I remember correctly, I did limit the Togekiss, and I think it might have encored the blade at the end so you could clean up. Yeah. And that was a really smart bring.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was something like that. I mean, after he revealed it, it just deterred Merc from going for status moves because he knew that Mega Gardevoir was going to come in and encore him. So that even if it didn't do much, it deterred Merc from setting up and stuff like that. So
yeah, but it was definitely a great bring on Gypsy's part. Something that Encore is often unseen, but did a lot of work this week. He must have been predicting a bit of setup, but Lizard, he's ranked one of the best for a reason. Phalop, how about you tell us about Shardy's Turtonator? We actually do have that set. It was 120 in defense, and it was I think Relaxed Nature with Stone Edge, Flamethrower. Was it Rest Sleep Talk? I think it was
No,
Rest Sleep
it
Talk.
was Toxic Earthquake.
yeah, Toxic Earthquake.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, it didn't really have any recovery besides the leftovers, but it still, it did a phenomenal job. It Toxic, the Slowbro put it on timer like the one thing it couldn't really touch itself. So that was really nicely because the Slowbro didn't have any recovery, it only had like Protect and the Regenerator health. But Toxic every time put it on a timer and it shut down the Volcarona completely. It had Stone Edge and Earthquake to hit it really hard. And just in the late game there was no breaking through the Turtonator anymore and it picked up the last few kills.
And Hera, why didn't you tell everyone about your mascot this week being the Mega Beedrill that Cloud brought?
What? Hello?
Huh?
Excuse me? I'm only gonna say what I'm allowed. I'm only gonna say what I'm allowed to say, because I talked with Zazo and I know the set too. But yeah, as he said, he brought 2 moves: Pin Missile, Bullet Seed, because that's really all you need, and Mega Heracross. It just nukes everything, like it's stipulated now. Like last season we had a meme which was the air balloon that Toad couldn't see, and this season we have the laddie counter, which is Mega Heracross. So that's pretty neat. As we mentioned, when we were doing the recap of the match, Mega Heracross has the potential to 2-shot everything on Jolt's team, if not 1-shot. So I mean, Mega Heracross is the best mon in the game. There's not really much I can add besides look at it, look at its stats. There's not really much I can say. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I was about to say we do know that it was adamant from Zazo's commentary.
Yeah, it's that's even more scary. It's like adamant smack everything in the face.
Yeah, no attack investment, as he said, he just was adamant. But, you know, I definitely think Kine is going to have to look into the server and make sure that fighting resists Psychic now that we know that pivotal information.
Thank you, Zazo, for teaching us that.
Yeah.
Kids, if you have a fighting type in front of a Psychic type, don't be afraid. Just kill it. It's not going to do anything to you. Life lesson.
Just play custom game and put pin missile on your fighting mod. That's all you have to do, kiddies.
GG.
So let's talk about this week's matchups. So first and foremost, we have the Los Angeles big Danza versus Rizzy Pounds Phoenix SUNFLORAS. I think this will be another close match. Danza is going to turn Rizzy around. I've heard they're playing on Tuesday, which will be very interesting to see when the deadline's Monday. Definitely.
Good stuff, boys.
You know, well, Alcoholics Anonymous isn't open on weekends apparently, so that's why.
Makes sense.
But but who's gonna be the big dog in this game? Mega Kangaskhan or Tapu Lele? Definitely. I can't wait to see Mega Kangaskhan start firing off sucker punches to kill Tapu Lele and Mega Alakazam. That'll make my day. I think that'd be really cool. I think he should. It'll be a good game. I could definitely see a baton pass Mega Kangaskhan or Scully passing speed into Mega Kang, and just click Power Punch, Power Punch, Crunch, Return, and Low Kick, just absolutely bodying him. But, you know, that's just my stipulation on it. I hope I haven't spoiled Riz's sets. I haven't talked to Riz about his team. I don't know what his team is, but
I can't wait.
What do you?
I can't wait for that moment where I can already imagine it in my head. Riz is gonna click Sucker Punch against Tapu Lele, and then he's going like, huh? What? It's gonna be.
I can't wait for the moment where he goes, bloody Burb told me I could click Sucker Punch here.
God damn it.
Listen to him.
Never trust the Aussies. That's gonna be great.
Never.
Yeah, but I definitely think that's going to be a really, really close game. Like, both of them have broken stuff in Tapu Lele and Mega Kang, so it's just the case of who's even more broken than the other. So it's going to be interesting to see, definitely.
Do you know what would be really cool to see? I think Sylveon gets Misty Terrain. Just imagine that Tapu Lele comes in Misty Terrain. Justice.
Some heat. That's heat. So are we gonna go like game to game, or are we gonna highlight like
game to game? So next up we have Blake v Zazo. What are you gonna think about that match, fella?
It's a bit hard to say. Anthony is on a roll. He's still undefeated, and Blake is not doing that great at the moment. So normally you would say it will be an easy win for Anthony. And I think he can definitely happen, but it's just you don't know. And I think especially with someone with Blake that has not with this team, but he has already beaten Toke with some nice prep on there. So Anthony definitely has to look out. But I think it will be a good game regardless.
Yeah, it's like Zazo's still undefeated, so he's pretty hard to stop. And now that he has like Mega Heracross, I consider him unstoppable. So oh well. Blake can try, but doubt it.
I think the other thing will be cool is if Zazo tries to set up 2 laser rocks. What is Blake going to do if Zazo sets up 2 laser rocks? That's going to be good.
What can anybody do?
I know, but I think Salamence looks like it could absolutely rip a hole through Zazo's Anus, and you know it'd be like him going to prison and dropping the soap. That Salamence set, like it could happen. I don't know what will happen. It's definitely hard to say on podcast when the coaches decide to play a bit early, but we're stipulating here.
We have no idea what happened.
No, they haven't put it on the sheet for us to look at. No,
we are not looking at it. Next game.
So next up we have Arizona v Cloud. They're definitely another interesting game. It could be definitely really close, but at the same time, it could be very far apart depending on the team that they both coaches bring.
I think it's going to be very, very interesting because like Toga has like so many offensive threats, and then Cloud has like really, really bulky mon. So it's going to be interesting to how Toga and Cloud are going to prep for each other. See who's going to take the best like hyper offense or like not stall but like bulk. Because Cloud has a lot of bulk, especially like Toxapex putting the finest at work this week. So It's gonna be nice. But as I think you were about to say, Nasty Plot Thunderous, huge threat.
Yeah. I like how we just finish each other's sentences off. We just make the perfect couple. We can finish off each other's sentences off perfectly.
True. If you were on the opposite side of the globe as me, because fun fact, we couldn't be farther apart than we are right now. So that's sad, but we still have this connection. Oh my god, I love it. Anyways.
Yeah. Next up we have. Oh dang! I clicked the wrong tab. That's the overview.
Oh, we have a great match. Oh my god, I just noticed this match. Do you want me to?
We have Mama Joe against Daddy Brolic.
Oh,
Yeah.
But why are they fighting? I don't condone domestic violence. Why are they fighting? Why I don't get it. I don't understand. Why mommy and daddy fighting? I come out of my bedroom and they're gonna have a fight. What? Like, is this unfair?
that makes so much sense. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I think Talonflame can just absolutely destroy Matty Brolic's Anus and give him PTSD, because I feel like Cheese Boy got him last season with it, so maybe, you never know, Talonflame might come back for round 2.
I mean, Cheese
Cheese
had the fan fee though, so it's hard.
I mean, Jolt built his team in more than 30 minutes. It might not work.
True.
Yeah, but Mega Charizard X can tear Jolt in an Anus if it gets up a DD. The Lizard King himself. Definitely going to be an interesting matchup. My favorite Mega Charizard X switch-in is Ferrothorn, with I like Dry Skin in particular. I think it's the best switch-in. I mean, if I've learned anything from Zazo, man, that's a good switch-in. Imagine that, Ferrothorn comes in on Megazard X. Huh? This dies? I thought this had Flash Fire.
Bro, hacking the game.
Yeah.
But I think Maddie did do a couple of trades. I'm not 100% sure, but it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to work around Jolt's team, because he didn't draft it, so, same old, like, he didn't draft it, so he's not comfortable with it. I assume, like, Maddie's a god, he can use anything. But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I mean, I'd be really uncomfortable if I had to use Megiddo, Megazard X, Lando T with Smeargle. I'd be so uncomfortable with that. Don't give it to me.
It'd be so hard to team build every week. No, it wouldn't.
I know. It'd be, especially when your opponent's so weak to Zard X. Next up, we have another spicy match, being Florida, being Seb against Merc. That's another very, very highly anticipated match. That's definitely something that's going to be interesting. Like, Seb has his sort of balance, whereas Merc has one of the best balance counters in the game, being Mega Latios. Like, it could tear through top tier boy. It could go in his mouth and come out his anus with a pretty big anus. Like, HP Fire, Psychic, just absolutely body Seb.
Yeah, and then it gets... Yeah, I was gonna say, then there's a Tito.
Yeah, but, like, that's alright, though. Like, he's got a Roserade and a Suicune. Like, they love playing T-Tars, man. But my favorite T-Tar set is Thunder. Weakness Policy Thunder. Just to catch all those... Actually, it'd be a good Terrakion switching this week, I feel.
Because, this is like the most informative podcast ever. If you have any doubts in terms of typings, just listen to the podcast. This is nothing but valuable information.
Just at TheFlyingBird 14 on Twitter. Any typing questions, man. I know all of them. I used to play Pokemon before it was. I used to play Pokemon and you could only choose a Rhydon, man. That's how old school I am.
And
Pokemon.
he would leave it on. He would leave the Rhydon in on all the water guns, and he wouldn't die. This man fears nothing. 4 times weakness are overrated, so.
It's definitely gonna be another cracking match, I think. Which is great to see, because it's good to see all the cracking matches.
But that's our fault though, because we get like all these amazing players into the league, and then we go through and like, oh, this is gonna be a great match. Oh, this is gonna be a great match. Oh, this is gonna be a good match too. So it's our fault. Like every week, there's gonna be like 5 great matches. I mean, 8 great. I mean, every match is great.
I mean, Hera, you said it wrong. The formula is, we say it's a great match. Burb says this resists this, when it obviously has a 4 times weakness to it. Tells them a stupid way to counter it. Next thing is then we go to next match, say it's a great match, and just repeat the cycle.
Just coaches should listen to this to know how to counter team properly.
Yeah.
I mean, thank goodness we're in a custom game, because then they could actually bring these sets.
Yeah.
Phalop, why don't you talk about world's most impatient man versus world's most patient man?
Yeah.
Social justice warrior. What do you think of that matchup?
Yeah, I think if it was for Abe, the match would already been played like 2 weeks ago, and if it was Shadi, it will not be played for like over a year. So yeah,
End of the season.
it's definitely two real different people. But I think I haven't looked that much at the matchup, but yeah, if I look at
Shadi has Turtonator, so he wins.
Circuitry. Yeah, there is a Turtonator. I was gonna say, Circuitry is looking nice, but then there's the Turtonator. So,
Turtonator's gonna...
I said the other thing that looks really nice is that Kartana. Kartana loves taking on Turtonator and Skarmory. Yummy.
Yeah,
delicious.
yeah, but if you look on like Abe's team, like what's a switch into a Mamoswine? I guess Buzzwole is there, sorta. I guess.
I mean,
Still.
What doesn't Buzzwole counter? It's like a Fathom Mega Heracross, except it doesn't have any Spadef.
Okay.
So you leave it on Psychics.
I can admit it's fatter, but I won't admit that it's better. Because it's not.
I mean, I don't think Buzzwole has a base 180 attack stat.
True. It wouldn't be able to kill a laddie. Doesn't get pin missile.
Yeah. Exactly. How
Very true.
How much funnier would it be if you went sub, and then if you went for a sub, then next minute pick me sub. I was actually, when I saw it, I was like, when I was looking at the game, I was like, Joel's clicking sub here. It's gonna be really funny.
Oh my god.
And then I think we have a Gypsy v Chicago. Is that Razor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's going to be a fun one. Razor's on his winning streak, and so is Gypsy. Razor has a much bigger winning streak at the moment. That crucial 1 win, whereas Gypsy only has a measly 3 in a row. I'm in love with the Tapu Koko. I really like Razor's Mega Gardevoir switch-ins. In particular, Mega Gyarados, man. That's a lovely switch-in. But I think Doug Trio can really limit that Tapu Koko. And that's something crucial. Hopefully we see Heracross absolutely plow and give someone a new Annuls. I just want to see Natural Gift Fire this week. I reckon that'd be funny.
Yo,
Natural Gift Fire.
Get in Verd. Get Verd in here. He's
Where's Verd?
Where's Verd, man? We're talking
Bird,
about
where are you?
talking about Natural Gift. You had to get in here.
Yeah.
But I mean, Razor beat the team that has a Plusle, so he's in advantage in relationship to Gypsy because Plusle's obviously the best mon.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to prep for a Plusle this week, which makes it a lot more
It
interesting.
makes it a lot more easier to him too. Because imagine prepping for that
Yeah.
thing every week. Oh, that would give me nightmares.
Yeah. And then for our last game of the podcast, we have the Atlanta BEWEARS versus the Vancouver Stealthrox. Carney, bring the Plusle!
Do it!
Plusle is my favorite. Plusle's my favorite Celestial counter. The other thing too, which I find really weird, is you do get Mega Banette.
Yeah.
But, you know, Mega Banette, I love switching my Mega Banette, you know what I mean? I'm going for a Shadow Claw. So much fun. Disguise intact. Justice.
Like both players get like really. I mean, more so Carney. I don't want to see Carney get hexed again because that's just rude. That's just rude. That's rude.
But Trev
I was
is the
worried
X
that
squad.
Yeah. If Trev was Eminem, he would be the Hack Squad. He would rap about it. He'd be like, I got 2 bullets in low roll hits. But this has probably been another long podcast for us all.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only been 53 minutes. Gosh, how lovely is that for our
God.
viewers? Just think about the ad revenue us analysts are going to bring in this week.
My
I'm just thinking, yeah. The 3 cents. Yes. But thank you, the Better Bartel brother, for joining us at Alcoholic Anonymous. Make sure to keep drinking so Juice doesn't have to. That's very important. And thanks to the... Oh well, that's very. It's a privilege. It's a great burden for you, I know.
Yeah. It's very.
Yeah.
He even left mid call to go and sip on something. But okay.
Yeah. True.
And thanks to our favorite our favourite France fan who now has an alcohol drinking problem because Portugal beat them in the Euros.
Yeah, French people hate me now.
And until next time, guys, peace.
Peace.